So, you remember our little chat about color-changing cars based on mood, right? Today, while I was going through some electric vehicle designs, I happened to think about Midori's color-changing idea. I started exploring how we could combine aesthetics and sustainability, and you know what? That's quite a challenge. But isn't it great when your work actually challenges you? It certainly keeps the adrenaline pumping. Speaking of adrenaline, I was running this evening listening to that Morning Shadows band Kiyoshi recommended. They actually have pretty rad music, a fine blend of alt-rock with some surprisingly soulful lyrics. I totally recommend you to check them out. In the middle of my run and this new music in my ear, I started conceptualizing a symposium for EV design. I was thinking, what if we could bring together industry experts, tech geeks, and designers to discuss and innovate on sustainable and aesthetically pleasing designs? I couldn't help imagining Claudia giving a keynote speech, since she's such a genius in this realm. I even thought about a panel discussion addressing various aspects like material sourcing, environmental footprint, and obviously, the driver's experience. Maybe Midori's idea would not be so outlandish in such a forum. Oh, and talking about old times, when Kiyoshi dragged that old university photo today, my goodness, I had a good laugh. The three of us sneaking into the library after hours, such rebels we were. It almost feels like that was a different lifetime, doesn't it? But then, some things don't change, like Kiyoshi's love for sushi. Remember how he used to drag us to that sushi place near the campus? Even now, his imaginary food truck would probably serve sushi. God, talking about this is making me feel nostalgic. By the way, tasting the food car idea seemed crazy at first, but now when I consider it, why not? Perhaps, just perhaps, we could integrate more personal aspects into our car design someday. Mid-thought here. Wouldn't it be hilarious if a car actually turned sushi-colored to reflect Kiyoshi's perpetual hunger for sushi? God, I can't stop laughing at that mental image. Anyway, I'm digressing, that's all for now. So, picking up from our last chat about squeezing personal aspects into our car designs led me down a rabbit hole today. I must playfully confess, it wasn't a car today, but rather orchids that captivated my attention. Something about these delicate plants fascinated me enough to start my own little orchid garden. You know, I've always been drawn to the calmness of gardening, and these beautiful exotic flowers seem to tell a story, each unique in their own intricate systems and peculiar needs, much like cars lined up in a showroom. Expanding the frontier one step further, I've even considered designing a biodome, sort of like a terrarium for orchids, each plant in its miniature biosphere. Wouldn't that be fascinating? Yongsoo, a local terrarium specialist, was a great help in guiding me with the orchid's specific requirements. I could see a twinkle in his eyes talk about something he's so passionate about. His dedication truly stirred me, reminding me of why I chose industrial design, to make a difference, to bring beauty and practicality together. In unrelated news, our infamous Sushi Madness celebration is due coming Monday. In hindsight, maybe that raw fish party was a bit too raw, thanks to Kiyoshi and his culinary experimentations. Do you remember the horseradish incident? We almost started a fire with that. Almost made it to the headlines, "Local sushi enthusiast ignites kitchen with horseradish." I couldn't help but chuckle when I remembered it. This time, we decided to turn the Sushi Madness into a competition, just an innocent sushi showdown between old friends. And I must say, the stakes are quite high. Nobody wants to lose the sushi battle to Kiyoshi, especially with his adventurous palate. I mean, we all appreciate a good sushi roll, but it's not meant to explode with wasabi. Now, I must wrap this up. My orchids require some attention. They need as much love as you can pop into a pot. Rest assured, we will continue orchestrating our car designs with the possibility of mood colors. Kiyoshi's sushi car idea might not be too far-fetched after all, despite its hilarious implications. Anyways, remember, the sushi battle awaits us soon. Wishing you a wonderful evening and looking forward to our sushi showdown. So last night was a hoot. Hana, Kim, and I decided to have a game night. Now, before you start thinking about the regular board games or card games, let me tell you, I decided to take things up a notch. I designed, wait for it, our very own escape room game. Can you believe it? Now you know how much I love critical thinking puzzles, and what's better than blending them with a game night? The game was filled with riddles, critical thinking puzzles, and trust me, it was nothing short of an amateur detective adventure. Having Hana and Kim trying to outdo each other to solve the puzzles was definitely the highlight of the night. Hana got trapped inside a virtual library at one point, and boy was it hilarious. She was frantically looking for a way out before the virtual timer ran out. She couldn't help but laugh at herself afterward. In our chat group, Kiyoshi put forth this idea of taking this to the next level. He suggested that I could create a virtual escape room for people outside our circle. Honestly, that idea resonated with me. It seems like a fun project to work on, a blend of technology and games. Midori immediately piped up, requesting no horror themes used. But you know me, I'd rather tweak the intellectual nerves than build a digital haunted house. I remember how you used to dominate the game nights back in university with your clue-solving genius. It would have been so much fun if you were there. Maybe next time we can get you on board too. That said, the highlight for the weekend is our impending Sushi Madness celebration. Remember the last time when Kiyoshi stacked so much wasabi on his, we thought he was going to blow his head off like a rocket. We decided to turn the sushi making into a competition this time around. As much as we love Kiyoshi, no one wants to lose the sushi battle to him, given his experimental flair in the culinary department. Nonetheless, inspiration can strike from the most trivial things. On a different note entirely, I was thinking about how personalized cars have become. It got me thinking about reflecting personal aspects in our EV designs. Before you panic, no, we're not working on anything like color-changing cars based on moods. It's just amazing to see the kind of changes the automobile industry is going through, isn't it? Going off on a tangent, orchids are gathering my interest these days. I think they are beautifully complex and exquisitely unusual. I am planning to get a little creative by setting up a small miniature biosphere or a biodome, if you might, for these beauties. I guess even in my free time, I'm somehow connected to design and creation. Though I miss our lighthearted banters and deep discussions, I've got to drag myself for a little jog to keep the orchids in my brain blooming. By the way, make sure to prepare yourself for the sushi showdown, buddy. Until our next game night, buddy. Bye.